Hi Stampers! Today we're going to learn about a new tool that Stampin' Up! Has out. It's called the Scissor Plus. It is a fabulous way to cut circles that can range anywhere from 1 inches to 6 inches in diameter. In order to use this tool, you need the Scissor Plus, the glass mat, which is a separate purchase, and a repositionable adhesive. I recommend Dotto. Let's show you how to use this tool. I'm going to put a piece of paper behind here and bring it in slowly so Amanda can get a shot of this. This point here, I marked it with a Sharpie. This is the center point of your circle. So this is really important, especially if you're doing photos or if you pre-stamped something and you want to make sure that your image is in the center, that you use this T as a reference point for cutting your circle. And let me show you what I'm talking about. If I was going to cut this picture here, I would make sure that if I want to get Amanda in there, I would just put Amanda's face as the center. But I want to get everyone in there, I would make the center here, and then it would give me a perfect circle all around. Alright, so let's get started. I like to use my scraps. So you can see this paper has been pretty well used up by both my punches and my circle scissor. You want to use, like I said, repositionable adhesives. You're going to put a little bit on. You do not want your cardstock to shift. So I'm going to put it on, and I'm going to give it a really good rub to make sure that it is really down on my glass mat. I am right-handed, so I like to keep this black bar on the left side so I can hold down securely with my left hand. If you are left-handed, you'd want to put it over on the right side. So right-handed, it's going to go on my left side. I want to turn in the direction of which hand is supporting this black bar. So since it's on the left-hand side, I want to go in a counterclockwise motion. If I was left-handed and I had the black bar on the right side, I would want to turn in a clockwise motion. It is easier to stand up to use the circle scissor. It just gives you more even pressure. What I like to do, especially when I use scraps, is I don't put my blade in. I kind of do a test run for the size circle that I want to make sure it's going to fit on my scrap of cardstock. And speaking of the size of circle, there is a wheel here that you can turn, and it's going to work with this ruler here. And the ruler is both in inches and centimeters. You turn it counterclockwise to make your circle larger, and clockwise to make your circle smaller. Let's make a 3-inch circle, so I'm going to move my dial until it is on the 3-inch mark. I'm going to place it down on my cardstock. Once again, I'm going to give it a spin to make sure that it's going to fit there. Here is your blade. It has a protective cover. You need to remove that in order to cut your circle. And there's just a reminder, in the cap here, there is a replacement blade in there for you. So after your first one dulls out, which, I mean, I haven't replaced mine yet, and I use my circle scissor a lot. In order to use the blade, there are grooves here, and the grooves need to fit into its marked places on the Circle Scissor Plus itself. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to turn that black section on the left-hand side. Now I'm going to just push down until my blade makes contact with the cardstock. I'm pushing down, and I'm going in a counterclockwise motion. I lift up, remove my Circle Scissor Plus. I like to use my piercing tool to lift off. I have acrylic nails which tend to be thicker than natural nails, so it's hard for me to get this. So I just loosen up the adhesive to be able to pull off my cardstock. And then I do the same thing to lift off my circle. The Circle Scissor Plus is really, really easy to use. I encourage you, at least when you're beginning, to use full sheets of cardstock. Even better, when you're first practicing your new tool, make sure you use printer paper. Don't waste your cardstock until you get a feel for the machine. When you get more experienced, make sure you can try smaller pieces. Just make sure that you really use enough of the repositionable adhesive to make sure that you have a really good contact point with your glass mat. That is the most important part. You do not want your cardstock to shift. I hope I taught you how to use the Circle Scissor Plus. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me. My email is on my blog. And happy stamping, everyone!